Hi everyone, Jane here. Thank you so much for watching today. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a illustration and watercolour based on cats. I love cats and we unfortunately lost our own cat a couple of months ago. He was 16, so he had a good old life, but I wanted to make something that was sort of a little bit of a tribute to him, as well as just a general love of all cats. So I'm starting off in my hot pressed watercolour little book, and I'd already drawn out a pencil sketch of what I wanted to do. So I wanted like a silhouette of a cat, and then I wanted some flowers and some leaves, because our cat used to love laying in the bushes out in our garden, all amongst the leaves and the flowers. And if the grass was long, he used to love laying in the grass with all the wildflowers. So I thought that would be a really nice sort of picture to capture him with. And then on the left hand page, I've decided in this little book that I'm going to do an illustration on one page or a sketch, and then on the other page I'm going to have like some sort of quote that matches with my picture so that it all sort of fits together. So I'd already drawn around a stencil to get the heart shape. And so on the left hand side, I sort of made a little bit of a mistake here because I went round the one on the left hand side in pen, and then I added on some detail with the leaves. And when I drew over them, I realised that I should have sort of left it in pencil so that I could rub out the lines where the leaves are, which is what I did on the other side of the page. So at this point, I'm just going over my pencil lines with my Lamy Safari pen, which has got black waterproof ink in it. And I'm just going through and just making all the lines visible. But also at this point, because the reason I like to do it in pencil first, and I didn't make you sit through that because that's sort of like my whole thinking process was the pencil part. The reason I do it like that is because I do want to make sure at the moment that when I put those lines down, they are where I want them to be. But when you go over with the lines, obviously you never don't always get it perfectly on top, and also it gives you a chance to sort of further refine what you are doing. So if there's a little bit that you wasn't quite happy with, you can still change it at this point. And then once all of the lines are in, then I can go in, and once that's totally dry, I can rub out the pencil lines. So on this page I drew in some leaves around the top of the heart, and then I just go over the text as well. So once all the line work was in, I needed to do some colour. So this is a little photo that I took quite a while ago. I made into one of my colour palettes of my cat, and I wanted to use the colours of him to colour the cat in my picture. So I'm going in with some watercolours. Now this is from my big palette, so this is a real mixture of brands. So in my big watercolour palette I have Daniel Smith, Core by Golden, and Rosa Gallery. So it's a mixture of all those different brands, and I'm starting off with the lightest of the colours for the painting, and I think I'm probably using a Princeton Velvet Touch. Those are my favourite brushes at the moment to be using. And I'm just trying to get the base layer of colour down to start with. So once I'd built up all those layers of watercolour and was happy with how it was looking, I wanted to go in with a few more sort of definitions, I guess, definitions and highlights, so that I could really build up the colour. And I'm going in with my coloured pencils, and it's a mixture between the Derwent drawing pencils, Luminance pencils by Caran, and possibly either the Pablo pencils or maybe the Lyra, I'm not sure. So I have a little bit sort of a mixture of pencils that I use. I don't worry too much. I sort of mix between oil-based and wax-based because I'm going over a base. I'm not worrying about how I'm layering, so I'm not having to think about those sorts of properties. I'm sort of just adding those finishing touches, and that is how I personally use pencils. I'm not a coloured pencil artist, you know, just purely. I like to just use them in a mixed media kind of way on top, just to add that little bit of extra depth. It also, if you struggle with your hands like I do at times, just using them in this way is less hard wearing on your hands, because pencils can be very tough work if you're building up layer upon layer. So I'm just adding sort of shading where I think, and I did eventually with this one is called Wheat, this drawing pencil, and I felt that the colour of my beautiful cat had sort of become a bit too dark, and I wanted to bring that lightness back into him again, and so I'm using the Wheat just to go over. And I'm rubbing it out with my finger. I don't know if that helps, but it was just also to get away any little bits of excess. And so I'm just adding in those little extra details just to finish, the picture off. So thank you very much for watching this video today. If you have enjoyed it, do please give it a thumbs up. And if you think this is the sort of content you would like to watch alongside all the other sorts that I also produce, then do please give that subscribe button a press and subscribe to the channel. At the end, you'll also see a shout out to say thank you to my members. I do have a membership. Please do follow the link that I'll pop in the description box if you're interested. I'm now including also some members only videos on that membership level as well, so that if you want to see the odd bit of extra content, you could also join and get that too. But I will still be continuing to produce my 3 videos a week on my channel. That's totally, part of being a subscriber or just by watching. So thank you ever so much, and until the next time, bye bye.